How do you see how we're all doing? George back with some vinyl finds I've got over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I was at Lady Blackbird gig in Edinburgh last night. It was absolutely fantastic. So if you get the chance to see it, I would take the opportunity. So this one album is actually, I've had this probably a month actually, just not got around to showing it. And it's Waldren, Mal 2, Waldren Sextet, and it's on the new series, the OGC Classic series, and it's one of them. It's done by Kevin Gray, remastered and pressed at RTI. It sounds absolutely fantastic, as you would expect, on Prestige. And there's two sessions from this, from 1957, and a big pull for me obviously was John Coltrane plays on one session, and Jackie McLean does alto sax on the second session. We've got Art Taylor on drums. There's two bands, so yeah, so Mal Waldren, I mean, Coltrane is saxophone's just beautiful on it, and it weaves into just some great songs, and obviously hard bop and some ballads, and really enjoyable. I won't be buying all the OGCs, but I may pick the odd one out of the series. Mal Waldren. Yeah, so I only got two jazz albums this I'm showing today anyway, and this is the other one. And I just got this, I asked my dealer to get in for me maybe a month ago or so and just hold on to it till I was ready to buy, and it's Yusef Lateef, and it's called Psycho Motus. Psychosimotus. Don't know why they do that. Psychosimotus. Four-piece band, obviously on Impulse, crappy paper sleeve. This is another new series by Verve by Request, and the Verve label, and this is pressed by Third Man Records. Now these are probably analog to digital recordings. They're pressed, sound fantastic. There are 8 tracks on this, and just a 4-piece band. James Black on drums, Reggie Workman on bass, and George Avantis on piano. 8 tracks. 4 are done by Yusef Lateef, and it's the usual Yusef Lateef, you know, with saxophone, and he'll play flute through the album. Lovely album. Yusef writes 4 of the tracks, and there's 4 basic standards on it. And he does, what's he done? A Hammerstein song. He does a version which is a classical record, actually, a song, tune Erik Satie, First Symphony. And he does Fats Waller, Ain't Misbehaving, but he does them beautifully, and it's nice to hear those tracks done quite a bit differently. So sounds really good. We'll see the Third Man jackets. You probably can't see it here, but sort of dented, and just, I mean, they look okay, but they're just the same as the other one. I got another one last month, and it was just the same. The jacket was like, the corner, the spine wasn't right, and just don't feel too good. But that's, music is really good anyway. And I showed a promo copy, American promo copy of this the other week there. Last week I'd done my acoustic albums. I got an American promo of this, and it was great to get because it's completely different from the UK original issue. There was a track or two different, and my promo copy is just, the quality isn't really very good, VG plus at best, and so I seen this copy for excellent or near mint, cleaned on his machine. Anyway, it's Michael Hedges, one of my favourite guitarists on the Windham Hill label. Not hang about too long on this, as I showed it last week, but a couple of different tracks, and the main track it was missing was All Along the Watchtower. The Strings of Steel is this is VG plus. I'm going to clean it myself, see how we're going with it. It's not excellent. Go off eBay, the boy's going to get bad feedback for it, but it wasn't released in America. They'd done the promo version in America, probably for radio stations or whatever, and this really was to break him in the UK and Europe, I guess. Previous to this, he had done 2 instrumental albums, he'd done a vocal album, he then done a live album, which the tracks from here are culled from. As I say, Michael Hedges, Aerial Boundaries on this, or All Along the Watchtower, Jimi Hendrix song. It's just Bob Dylan. Fantastic album. So I'll clean that up and see how we get on. Right, so the next 3 are by an artist that's came really dear to me in the last few years. And I'm sure it wasn't just because he lived over the street from me or the next area, but certainly got into folk music a lot more, and it's Bert Jansch, and I've got his first maybe like 8 albums, 6-8 albums on box set, and they released basically his last 6-8 albums on a box, but I never had that middle period, and I've always been waiting for them really just to reissue them in the nice, because it's a lovely box set they've done them in book style. But anyway, it's not happening, and I just, when you know, as a collector, once you get something in your head, you start looking, and sort of you see them on eBay or Discogs and go, that copy, that's I want that, and then you forget about it a wee bit, and then you go, well, if I don't get that copy, you know, I might not get as good a copy or at the same price. Anyway, so I've got 3 albums. I think I got a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I think I want to get. But this one's Bert Jansch Avocet. You know, it's bird themed, and this was from 1978. It was recorded and released in Denmark, and it had a slightly different cover, just showing the Avocet, and it was released a year later to the UK and the rest of the world, I guess, and it's on the Charisma label, and this is real good quality. It's good condition, as was said. You pick them up fairly cheap, and side 1 is just 1 track, Avocet, and 5 of other tracks on the side 2, and it's all bird themed, so it's kingfisher, kittiwake, osprey, lapwing. So the 6 tracks are written by Bert Jansch, and there's a 3-piece band on here, so if you've listened to Bert Jansch and don't like his vocal, a wee bit like Bob Dylan, and you could take Bob Dylan's songs and whatever, but take his vocal out, Bert Jansch could be a wee bit like that also. So this is a total instrumental album, and it's, I say, Avocet on side 1 is 18 minutes long. It's just a beautiful track, and it's just the 3-piece. We've got Danny Thompson, his ever friend, on bass, and Martin Jenkins, who wrote one of the tracks, on violin and flute, and great album. So it's really great to get this, reasonably priced, and so the second, so that was 79. Yeah, the second one is A Rare Conundrum. I can't remember what year it was, maybe 87. Bert Jansch, A Rare Conundrum, and there's a wee bit bigger band on this. It is from 77, so slightly earlier. On Charisma, and we'll have some various different people on here. Danny Thompson doesn't play in here, but we've got Rod Clements on bass. Ralph McTell plays on this album. And I think it's got a bit on the producing too. Ralph McTell, good pals with Bert Jansch. A rare conundrum and a fantastic album. So, real pleased to get this. There's 14 tracks on this, so I mean, you get your money's worth. It doesn't hang around. Great folk music. And the last Bert Jansch one, this one is, now the band's called Bert Jansch Conundrum, and the name of the album's called 13 Down. I always thought this was maybe a live album. The guy's in a boozer playing darts and getting pished. It's a studio album recorded in London, I think, Kicking Mule Records from 1980. I think you can probably find this on different labels too. It's been released at different times and we have an unfortunate Kicking Mule sticker right on there, but it's all about the vinyl, and this is slightly more up tempo. So Bert Jansch Conundrum is Martin Jenkins and Nigel Portman Smith on bass and piano, and we've got Luce Langridge on drums, and Jackie McShea sings vocal on one track. So real nice to pick up that LP. Last but not least, this artist I've known from way back, and unfortunately for her, she died really young. I think she was maybe 33. She had recorded one album as a duet, and I think she jacked in her job and hired a hall or a pub and got a mobile unit and recorded this album, which initially was released as a live album, and this is a 4 LP set, 30 songs. I think there's one studio track in it, and the UK picked up on a couple of the tracks and played it, and she became #1 here in the UK, a big artist, and yeah, we're at #1, and you used to hear it. I used to hang around hi-fi shops and go to hi-fi shows and everything, and she was always played there, and you're wondering who it is, guess. And she died she died 9 months, I think, before her first solo album really came out. So she never got to know how loved she was and her efforts. Now, there's quite a lot of albums of her out there. I think there must have been like 3 studio albums in the can, and there's various live albums about her. Who is it? It's Eva Cassidy. Now, I don't know why I never bought any Eva Cassidy. I don't know. I think because she died. I don't know. And she sings a lot of sad songs. Again, we're on the acoustic theme recently, and her feed's been coming up on my YouTube for some reason, her songs, and I've just been clicking on them again, like, you know, and she's such a beautiful singer. There's a full band on this, and yeah, it's great. I think everybody's heard Over the Rainbow now, and she does some great songs on this. That's her playing in the background. Time After Time she does. Over the Rainbow, I think, was probably played. What is she? Is she a blues singer? She does everything. She does blues, jazz, folk, pop. She does things, Fields of Gold on this. Absolutely beautiful. And Autumn Leaves, she does Nightbird, which the album's called, Nightbird, by the great Doug McLeod. I've got a lot of Doug McLeod's. He's a blues guys, but the band are fantastic on this. It sounds really good. 4 LP, it's all about a squash, because you've got 2 LPs stuck in one sleeve and 2 LPs in the other. Anyway, I got this it's been on eBay forever. Because it's got bash corners, it's like £35 for a 4 album set. think it's a wee bit more expensive than that. But Analog Productions done, I think, a 7 LP 45 of this, which probably costs quite a bit. And but I'm happy with this at the moment anyway. I'm glad to eventually add Eva Cassidy. Such a tragic figure, such a beautiful woman. Yeah, stick one Eva Cassidy album in your collection. She's a beautiful woman, so sad, and yeah, glad to eventually have her. Okay guys, that's sorry at the now, a 15-minute mark. Have a good week, and I'll see you later. Bye now.